Hi, I'm Malekeh Amini, and I'm the founder and CEO of Trayt, a data analytics company that's improving diagnosis and treatments in neurodevelopmental disorders. It is particularly important in this disease category, given that the impact of any treatment is maximized by the age of 6, so they don't have much time. There's currently a real disconnect between the brain, the body, and the behavioral data. In neurodevelopmental's behavior, patients are diagnosed based on very specific behaviors, and they're treated for those. But what's not considered are all the other medical conditions and environmental factors that always accompany those initial disorders and that have actual impact on those behavioral outcomes. But they're treated as independent conditions. And because we don't rigorously track outcomes, it's impossible to measure the efficacy of any of the treatments. This has led to 30% misdiagnosed cases, 80% are receiving inadequate treatments, and there are $250 billion of preventable costs in the US alone. To address the problem, we've brought together a seasoned and multidisciplinary team of experts. I am an engineer by background, MBA from Harvard, and I've dedicated my life for the past 22 years to healthcare and healthcare technology. And my co-founder, Dr. Carl Feinstein, is the founder of the Autism Center at Stanford and a professor of pediatric psychiatry. Our founding team collectively has decades of experience in healthcare, in data analytics, and in building successful entrepreneurial companies. We also all share a personal experience of having children with brain disorders. And we also have brought together a team of experienced advisors from the clinical space, from the technology space, including in AI and user interface from Google, and some of the key clinics around the country. So our solution leverages machine learning and AI to harness real-life health and outcomes data and clinical information in order to create actionable insights for patients. As input, we collect all of that information around multiple symptoms and multiple diseases and treatments that a patient has. All of this goes into our comorbid comprehensive data analytic platform. And as output, we create an actionable and personalized short-term roadmap for physicians, parents, care providers, in order to improve the long-term health of the patient. And of course, as the machine gets to know the patient better, it continues to refine these roadmaps, it targets the treatments more accurately, and it improves the outcomes. And we believe that by using this, a family can actually save $1.5 million over the life of the patient. We collect our data through our patient-facing mobile app. We also passively collect data by integrating with biosensors and other environmental technologies. Our concept has been validated in several therapeutic areas, and our MVP is currently in pilot across a couple of clinics. And our adoption is somewhat guaranteed for the immediate future through our partnerships with our existing clinics and other patient groups and foundations and advocacy programs, including the Mind Institute and the Children's Health Council here in the Bay Area. We have won several awards, including the Harvard Business School New Venture Competition in this area, and we were a MedTech Innovator Showcase company. We also were part of the Launchpad Digital Health Accelerator. Trayt is a software-as-a-service company. We enroll patients through our clinics that pay us a subscription for the use of the platform. We also have a portal for therapeutic companies in order to provide them a tool for real-time behavioral data collection. Device that collects behavioral data real-time, cheaper, faster, and more accurately during the clinical trials in neuro-related drug development programs. We do expect to generate revenues in 2018 at $2 million and reaching $23 million by 2020. We have to date raised $2 million of funds, and we are currently kicking off our Series A to both commercialize our products globally and also to expand into the adjacent, both therapeutic and customer segment markets. This is a busy space. Mental health is a busy space. There are some competitors that are focused on narrow spaces in this category, either in assessments or point-to-point collaborations or or in genomics, mostly focused on single disease categories. But where it comes to our comorbidity and kind of the comprehensive platform, we are first to market, and it is important to maintain that position given the high switching costs that a clinic will incur once they've actually signed up with one platform. Our technology is patent pending, so we're protecting that position at this point. And we also have an innovative business model that actually enables our clinics to increase their revenues. As a result, we become a revenue sharing platform rather than tapping into a cost bucket for them, which makes the acquisition cost somewhat lower. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
I'd like to ask a question about the scalability in two areas. One is it's based on machine learning and AI, so you need a lot of data, labeled data, in order to try to give any kind of predictive assessment. That's number one. So you need a good user base. And the second is, in terms of scalability, is physicians or doctors have to prescribe this or order it or tell their patients to use it. So they have to feel comfortable with that. So how is that process going? If you could address both those.
Great. So we actually, for what we provide, which is a short-term roadmap for a specific patient and learning what the patient responds to, it really doesn't require, we're not predictive at this point. We actually use our current intelligence to come up with those short-term roadmaps. So our revenue model is also based on some of the current programs that we provide. So yes, in the long run, that data and having the kind of the bigger patient data sets is going to help us be more predictive, but currently it's a different model. In terms of scalability, we actually are in multiple clinics, and so we enroll the patients through the clinics, but we also are directly going to patients, so they can download the app themselves and use it for their own their own children or patient base or students, whatever it is that they're using it for. But we've received a lot more clinical reception actually than, and some of the thought-leading clinics are actually behind this, both in terms of the content that we've developed in there, which is proprietary content, and also in terms of the ease of use of the technology, both from a physician's perspective as it relates to the comparison is the EMR that they're using. This is a very easy to use application, and it looks at patients across the spectrum of all of the conditions that they have, and it has really helped them better diagnose and better treat patients. So the thought leadership of the clinics that we currently have has actually helped us move into additional clinics as well.
Malekeh, you showed a slide that talks about the mobile phone remote monitoring the Nest and the EMR. You're grabbing data from a lot of places. I presume you're starting with the mobile phone and data is coming in that's patient-generated data, because you're showing a lot of places to grab the data.
Sure. So integrating with biosensors or technologies today is not a complicated process. So we have integrated with a few different devices. So passively, we do collect data. We do have a mobile app that actually collects patient data that either the caregiver or the family is providing that. And we do have a physician portal that actually provides data and receives data. So there are multiple places. We have a partnership to actually collect data from EMRs, but given that EMRs are a snapshot of clinical data that are not necessarily all that accurate. So we are, for example, collecting medication information. The medications in the EMRs are historically inaccurate, so some of them are no longer being prescribed or used. And a prescription that has been, or a drug that has been prescribed, for example, has not been dispensed. So what we have to validate all this information from the care providers anyway. So we are investing a lot less on the integration, for example, with the EMR. So that's an area we've actually selectively approached. But sensors and active data collection are both in place.
So my question is, how do you get the data back into the EMR? Because you'd like to be able to capture the data on the longitudinal medical record.
We have the same partnership that we have developed a two-way communication with the EMRs. We currently do not do that because it's a pilot program, and we're really testing the quality of the data that we're collecting and the analytic models that we have. It is a future roadmap that is challenging. So we are currently we are looking at that closely. It's a it's an investment, and it also has a number of different challenges that I think every digital health company currently is facing. So, but yes, we do recognize this is a roadmap.